I think for both social workers and foster parent, there is some reluctancy and some fear to really engage in those relationships. And I think those fears are part of who we are. They're around what would happen if a parent who is high come into my home, and how would I handle that? What happened if the parent come and steal the kid away? I think those are really, truly genuine fears.
From the foster parent perspective, I think the biggest misconception is that I need to be afraid of these birth parents, that they have somehow harmed these children, and so they may harm me, or they may continue to harm the children some kind of way.
I would have loved to know the area that my child would be staying in, whether the resource parent was married, whether the resource parent had religious beliefs. For me, I was really afraid of my child being with a stranger. I had heard a lot of bad things about resource parents. They were molesters, kidnappers, you name it, just everything bad that you could have thought of, I thought it. So eventually I was able to overcome those fears and focus on what I needed to focus on.
If I were to imagine myself as a birth parent having to go through this, and the possibility that the child I brought into this world, and I assume I did my best to love and care for, were to be removed from me, I couldn't imagine the difficulty and the challenge and the pain and just the confusion that the birth parent would go through.
And I was devastated. I really didn't know who to turn to or what to do. It just wasn't supports or anything in place. I just didn't know what to do.
Just the fact that you're watching someone else take your child to school, getting their meals prepared, doing everything that you know you can do, but at this moment you just need to work on self. It was really, really, really hard watching someone else play the role of a mommy.
Another misconception is that for birth parents, we think resource parents are only in it for the money, which is not true for some. I've met a lot that are not in it for the money. They genuinely want to partner with the birth parent for the betterment of that child.
I've worked with birth parents who have addiction. I've worked with birth parents who have mental health issues. I think the thing that has made it doable and wonderful has simply been to recognize that each of these parents, no matter what their struggle, adds value to this child's life. Like, this child loves them. Children love their parents unconditionally. So no matter what has happened in the past, they love their parents. And if I can accept that, and if I can go into this accepting that their parents add value to them in some way, then it's a lot easier for me to embrace them and embrace the relationship.
Who are these people with my child? You know what I'm saying? I don't know them. I don't know where they've been. You know, I don't know their history. At one of the visits that the social worker set up, I met the foster mom, and she was just like all over the place. She was just so jolly. She brought out the pamphlet, the book, and she was like, look, this is everything that your daughter's been doing since I've had her. She's taken her first shot. And she was like crying. She was literally crying about the way that my daughter was crying, you know, as they stuck her with the needle. So she started crying. I'm like, man, my mother didn't even cry when I had shots. These people, this lady literally cares about my daughter. And after that, all the anxieties or whatever I had pent up inside about, well, she's white and he's white, and that flew out the window.